Hey guys, this is Will, and today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Spaceship deck. So, here are the cards. Well, let's start out with the monsters. Well, I'm running 3 Falcons, because it lets me get any other battleship to my deck, and well, yeah, it's just overall useful. If you want to mill for Cyber or Cyber Elden or something like that, it's pretty good. Now, I run 2 Blue Thunders. 3 is too much in this deck, because you'll be swarmed with tokens and then you have no idea what to do with them. So let's get that out. 1 Delta Tri. This kind of takes care of the Blue Thunder problem, because it lets you mill tokens. You can just take one out, draw a card. Pretty much a free draw every time you kill a monster. Who doesn't like that anyway? Here's another thing. I run 2 Lord British. Amazing in this deck. You can attack as many times as you want. You can destroy your opponent's set cards, their set monsters. You can summon another token if you need like a defense or something. Pretty good. Now, 1 Victory Viper. Now, you're not going to want to run a lot of this card because his first effect kind of sucks. All you can destroy is face-up cards. But if your opponent has Royal Decree or something, you're going to want to take that out. Plus, you can bring him out with Falcon. Now, 1 Jade Knight. While all the battleships are on the field, this thing pretty much protects everything on your field. So, your opponent can activate cards like Mirror Force or Negate Attack, and you can just keep attacking. You know, Sakuretsu, nothing. Now, 2 Duckers. This lets you get any battleship from your deck, from your field back to your deck, to your hand. Anyway, the thing about that is that it's really good. Not to mention you can get Honest back to your hand too. Now, I run 2 Cyber Valleys. It's pretty much just a free draw. You can, yeah, that's pretty much all it's for. It's just a free draw. You can take a token in him, just draw 2 cards. Cyber Dragons. What deck isn't complete without a Cyber Dragon? It's a tribute fodder if you want. Or you could just play, bam, field presence for when your opponent wipes you out with Dark Hole. Pretty nice. Now here's the boss in the deck, Cyber Elden. Once that thing's on the field, it blows everything else up. It's like a baby Black Rose, but not really. Yeah. Sand Gang. He's a searcher. That's pretty much all he's in here for. Not to mention when Cyber Elden's gone, you're gonna want something else in your graveyard. 2 Shining Angels. These guys can let you get any battleship, Cyber Valley, anything to your deck. To your hand. But here's the big player in the deck. Honest. This thing does everything in this deck. You can just keep using the battleships over and over. You can attack again, set him down for some damage. He's pretty much like the star player in here. LeBron James, if you will. Morphing Jar. Who doesn't want a new hand, right? Especially when you run out of cards. It helps out anytime. And the last monster is Blackwing. He can half the attack of any monster. And seeing as these guys don't have that much attack, because most of them have 1200, it helps out a lot. Okay, now we're going to go for the spells. 2 MSTs. It's MST. I don't really need to go into more detail than that. Now, 3 Shrinks. This pretty much keeps the big monsters away from your battleships, because it cuts their attack power in half, and then you don't have to worry about them dying. Not to mention this can't be stopped by Jinzo, so you can take that out too. Now, 2 Book of Moons. It can switch a monster to defense, and right now how they're making monsters, they don't really have that much defense power. Like Flamvale, they've only got like 200 I think. Alright? So Book of Moon really helps out in that case. 3 Econs. The thing about this card is that you can tribute one of your tokens to take control of a monster and then sync with Blackwing Gale. Or you can just tribute it for Cyber Dragon and get rid of one of your opponent's strongest monsters. Or change a monster to defense, then attack with the battleships. Giant Trunade, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn. Pretty much your staples. Except Giant Trunade. Giant Trunade I don't think is really a staple right now, but it'll probably get there, seeing as Heavy Storm is banned. Okay, now for your traps. 1 Solemn Judgment. Because, hey, it stops anything, right? Oh, Dark Arms, goodbye. Mirror Force. Hey, who doesn't like Mirror Force? You don't have to worry about your opponent blowing up all your battleships. So it makes it so good. 1 D Prison. Good thing about D Prison, is that it not only stops the attack, it removes the monster. So you don't really have to worry about it coming back that much. Unless it's like a macro deck, which I haven't seen that many. Royal Oppression. Now this thing has a cheap advantage in this deck. Because since you can't activate trap cards during the damage step, your battleships can summon tokens and you don't have to worry about them getting killed. So you can just keep doing that over and over. Now, I only have one Bombless in here. Because you don't really need to destroy that many monsters if your battleships can take care of everything. But if your opponent summons something big, you're going to want to take it out. Got 2 Beckoning Lights. It's kind of obvious why these are in here. Everything's light, just add cards to your hand. And finally, 2 Dark Bribes. Because hey, Giant Trunade, MST, you can stop them and keep your Beckoning Lights in place. Now that's my deck. Now I'm going to go for my Synchros and my Fusions. 1 Chimeric Fortress, because it's a last resort thing. If you've got nothing else, you're going to want to bring out a star player. You got that in here. Light End Dragon, it's a light monster, cuts the attack power of your opponent's monsters, pretty much helps the battleships. Ancient Fairy, you can swarm the field with battleships, like if your opponent has Gravity Bind, and then destroy Gravity Bind, and you've got pretty much a clear field. There's no way to stopping it. Not to mention if your opponent plays Necro Valley or Gravekeepers, it's gone, and you gain 1,000 life points. Now, 2 Magical Androids. Let's face it, your battleships aren't always going to win, and you're going to want some life points in case something happens. So those are pretty good. Colossal Fighter. Hey, every time you kill this guy, he just comes back to his own effect. And with 2,800 attack, it's pretty nice to keep around. Even if this deck isn't really a warrior deck. 2 Stardust, because what happens when you run out of Solemns and Dark Bribes, you're going to need something else to back up your cards, right? So it's good to have Stardust. Comes in handy for everything. Now this guy is in here too. Kwakimeru Bure. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Since he can switch battle positions of every monster, he's pretty good. Because it lets you attack with your battleships more. And you don't have to use your Honest as much. And the last card, Black Rose. Because it's Black Rose, it blows up the field. You can just summon a battleship and just get things over with. Now, I got a couple extra cards here. Here's my side deck. Let's start this off. 3rd Blue Thunder. In case your opponent has a lot of high-level monsters, you're going to want some backup in him. Marshmallow. Hey, you're not always going to be able to attack. You need something to back up your defenses. So you got this guy. 3rd Shining Angel. Obvious reasons. Diddy Warrior Lady. Obvious reasons. Sunny Pixie and the 2 Road Synchrons are in case you need some more tuners. These guys go pretty well in the deck. They're all light monsters, so you can get them with Beckoning Light. G-Dex Neutron just lets you get a machine tuner faster, so you can get Road Synchron if you put them in. Now you got a 3rd Ducker and Cyber Dragon's Way. Because you can treat this as Cyber Dragon and then just bring out Chimeric Fortress. And if your opponent plays a machine deck, you can wipe out their whole field. Ducker, you might need a 3rd Honest or something, you know. Now here are the spell and traps. Spells are limited removal. Double C attack of all machine monsters. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go to traps. Trap cards, I've got a 2nd Bombless, in case your opponent has a deck like Mobius or something like that, where you can want to clear them out. Even though you can't stop their effects, it stops you from getting attacked directly, you know? Yeah. Now, Trap Stun. Who doesn't like Trap Stun? You don't have to worry about Mirror Force, Sakaretsu, nothing like that. D-Prison. It's nice to have. Divine Wrath, it can stop Black Rose, stop Dark Arm Dragon. Now, here's a fun little strategy I like to use occasionally. Pixie Ring. Since all the battleships have the same attack power, your opponent can't attack them. And then you can just keep using Honest to keep them on the field. It's a pretty nice combo. And I only got one thing left. 2 tokens. And then Ojama Trios. That's about it. Subscribe, comment. To iDual Pro. Or to my channel, Surveillance 806. That's it. Peace out.